Pioneers win 82-44 as they outscore Mars Hill 34-19 in that high-scoring fourth quarter where Mars Hill put up their best quarter of the game, and the Pioneer defense clamped down against the Lions. Hello, once again, Brian Staten with Pioneer coach Meagan Price, and again, an 82-point game. We didn't play great first half, but I love the pace and the energy we brought.
I thought so too. You know, we're getting Christmas break out of us, and that's one thing that we want to get back to, you know, like we talked about before the game, is just making sure that we're pushing and we're controlling the pace of the game, and I think that's huge for us. So I was proud of him, and I thought even we looked at, you know, both teams are a little winded second half or whatever, but I thought that we did a great job just still getting that ball out. And, you know, even against their press and stuff or them picking us up in the full, it was good for us to have to do that.
I felt they were physical. I felt that helped us a little bit, too.
Yeah, we need that, too. So that helped us a lot. And it's, you know, a couple of times, like, girls look over at me, and I'm like, okay, we got to play through stuff like that. I mean, that was limestone the whole game.
Yes.
And so it's good for us to have to get tough against some pressure like that. And so it was great for us to have to face something like that, too.
You know, and my thing was with Mars Hill, and I said, that's scouting. That's something that Mars Hill hadn't always done. So that's coaching. They saw that against Limestone, so they come out and they try to do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And I felt like we fought through that. And the word that I wrote down was effort.
Yeah.
Because I felt that's what we gave today.
Yeah, you know, I think that was a big change. And obviously as a coach, I got to be pleased from that standpoint because, you know, going back to Limestone and the effort that we gave versus the effort we gave here tonight, you know, I never want to have that conversation with our team again because that should never be. I mean, that's what our teams are known for at Tusculum. And so I think that was a big thing tonight, getting to see that and then push through that fatigue to still give effort. And that's, you know, fighting that fatigue monster is kind of our motto right now, that we're trying to just keep pushing through and practice all that stuff so that we can get into the best shape, you know, possible.
I think you'll see that in the numbers when the turnovers. You forced 18 turnovers, came up with 10 steals, and then you scored off those. 18 turnovers, you scored 25 points.
That's
huge. You know, your 23 turnovers resulted into 16 points for Limestone, and you couldn't score off their turnovers. You did that today because you were getting out in transition.
Yeah, I thought so too. And we made a couple changes, like I said. We went back and watched some video, things that we haven't done that we kind of made up at Limestone. Yeah. And so, you know, we got back to being organized as a group and organized in transition and just knowing what we're looking for, and if this isn't there, we're going to the next step. And so I think that was huge for our group tonight too, and it was fun to watch.
All right, defense. Wow. You know, they scored 7 field goals in the fourth quarter. We kind of backed off a little bit, which was more than their first 3 combined.
Wow.
Combined.
Wow.
They had 6 field goals through the first 3 quarters of play. I just really felt you defended every inch of the half court.
Yeah, and that goes back to, you know, we probably had 3 points of emphasis, and that was one of them. Getting back to who we are before Christmas break and understanding what our identity is, and that is defense, and giving that all effort and making sure that we're communicating and we're talking the whole time. And so I was proud of our group for that too, because I thought that we fought through stuff, and I saw us talking the whole time. Yeah. And that's something that we haven't done in a while, you know, and so I was actually really proud of us and pleased for that.
Plus 20 in rebounds, another number and point of emphasis. Everything around was good based on the numbers, and I think that you know, we didn't shoot it well. 30 of 70 today, but 70 shots. You got up 70 shots. That was another one that I thought of. And then you had a conversation with one of our Pioneers, and she basically came back to you and said, you're going to see
Holy cow,
the
I just
best
saw it.
part of me ever.
Wow.
And she had her career of her life.
Wow, that's awesome. That threw me off because I didn't even realize it, you know. But it was the little things that we talked about, and for her, I'm actually really proud of the bounce back because, you know, there was a decision with our team, you know, what is she going to do from here on out, because we need that from her. We need that from her and from Maya, and if we get that from our 2s and 3s, our team is elite. But if we don't get that from either of them, we're in trouble, and we want them on the same page all the time. And so it was huge that she stepped up like that, and I saw her do things like leadership again, where she's like talking in transition, talking to people, making sure that she's doing the extra effort things that we've talked about. Oh, man, I couldn't be more proud of her. That's awesome.
That's Blair Schultz, 28 points, 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 4 of 8 from 3, 8 of 17 from the field. And Jami Pham, even despite not playing pretty much of the second half, her 16th straight double-double. And again, it's just a 17-point, 14-rebound effort today for her.
Yeah, it's great for her too. And you know, the one thing I think too that happened to us tonight, because we foul a little bit, and we've been having to talk about that because that's happened the last 2 games. And great that it gets us reps and we can dip into our bench and they're getting that experience. But at the same time, you know, we got some things we got to learn from in a game like this, and just being smart, knowing when to go for an offensive rebound, when not to, little things like that. But I'm happy. Yeah. And I don't know if it was tonight or not, because I don't know if this is the 16th game, but I think that might have been like a tie for like the most double-doubles in history. We'll have to check that out. But I think that's huge for us. And the way that she's playing right now for us is so big. And if she can keep doing that, I mean, and she did it in 27 minutes, so that's huge for us.
Yeah,
so.
Carson Newman next, and I know they're on the road against LMU, and it was tight early. They're starting to open it up just a little bit. Braylon's got 20 right now. I think she had a tough first half, but a big challenge next week with Carson Newman and Wingate.
Yeah, and that's the thing that we wanted to get back to is finding our identity again after Christmas before we go into that stretch, that week of a stretch, you know. So, you know, preparing on Monday, you know, taking tomorrow off, making sure that we get our minds, our bodies right. We come back on Monday, we're ready to go to work for 2 days, and I'm ready to get Carson Newman.
Yeah.
So I'm ready because I haven't done it yet, and that's the only team I haven't beat. So I'm ready to get them.
Right.
And I'm excited because I think our group has that refocus like we saw tonight, and I'm excited for the challenge and excited just because it's a challenge too on our side, and you know that game will be a huge game either way that it goes, and so you know it's a tournament game right now.
Right
you
now,
know, because we're in January, mid-January, so it's crazy.
Pioneers get the win. Good stuff.
Thank you.
She's Pioneer coach Meagan Price. Pioneers knock off Mars Hill. Final numbers when we return after this. Tusculum 82, Mars Hill 44. Pioneer basketball continues on the Pioneer Sports Network.